So, a lot of us growing up watched PSA films. Uh, Britain makes PSA films. They're called public information films. One such public information film made in 1977 titled Apaches for children, mainly in rural areas, is extremely disturbing and off putting, and unintentionally maybe hilarious because of its stark tone. The film follows six children who are playing cowboys and Indians on local farms. But what makes this film so surreal is it's completely from the perspective of children. There's a child narrator, for example, and there's no kind of like. Obviously, if you watch the film, the rules of reality, like gravity and work, but the rules of human sense don't. So these six children are killed off one by one, like a horror movie. Essentially, this movie is a short anthology horror movie. Well, maybe not anthology, because it's the same characters, but these six children playing cowboys and Indians die in very horrific ways. But there's no kind of adult supervision at all in this film. So it's very detached from reality because if one child died in a very accidental way, like a child died because they drank weed eater, out of the other five children's parents would have reacted very harshly to this and prevented that from happening. But in the course of the movie, that never happens. So you have every single child die without any parental reaction and without any kind of input from parent figures. So that makes the film very off-putting and surreal. It just takes place from the view of the children, and you have them dying, say getting ran over by tractors or crashing and getting destroyed by tractors. But you have kind of like these two very, very disturbing scenes. You have a kid who dies in what is called a slurry pit. A slurry pit is where you dump all your fucking cow shit and your horse shit to make fertilizer. So this film, shown to children, shows a child drowning in feces. That's the most horrifying death you can imagine. And it doesn't cut away at any point, which is the most perplexing thing of this whole movie. It never cuts away at any one point ever. It just goes one child's death, child drowns in feces, next child dies of drinking drain cleaner or herbicide. No difference between these deaths. There's no like narrator saying, "Well, stay away from slurry pits because you'll drown in feces." No, don't. That never happens. It never tells you. So you're imagining this movie being shown to children on 8mm film where it's not that hard to stop. So there's no commentary telling them what's happening. It's truly a straight 27-minute horror film depicting children dying in agonizing fashion, often extremely graphically. Like there's a death of a child being crushed, where it shows the crushing of the child by a cattle guard or a cattle gate, where the child crushes and you see the bars go into the dummy, and the kid dies. He's crushed alive. That's extremely graphic. Or a kid drowning and screaming as he's falling into manure. That's really something. So this movie's available on YouTube. If you're any kind of horror fan, especially disturbing horror fan, I would suggest you watch it. Some parts will be disturbing. Some parts will be funny. Maybe it'll be funnier if you see it with somebody else. But good luck. It's pretty hardcore for a movie shown to children. It's like Sesame Street Sallow, I swear to God.